Supplementary from Pam Gossel, please.
Thank you, Convener. Good morning, Minister, and good morning, officials. The Female Genital Mutilation Protection and Guidance Act 2020 received royal assent in April 2020. However, almost 5 years later, it is yet to be implemented. FGM is an abhorrent practice, with an estimated 24,000 people born in countries with FGM happens living in Scotland. In 2022, I asked then the Minister for Equalities and Older People if there had been more of a focus on collecting data to accurately identify communities and spaces where this horrific practice might be taking place. The Minister responded, the FGM guidance has been delayed as a result of difficult decisions that had to be taken at the time, but we are now re-establishing that work. Every day is a day too long, and this Act strengthens the legal protection for women and girls at the risk of FGM. Minister, as the pandemic is now over, why has there not been any progress? Also, Minister, you have just mentioned that there may be implementation in 2026. We are sitting in end of 2024, so that's another year, year and a half, 2 years. So there still is no guarantee that this will be implemented. So, yeah, Minister, can you shed any more light on that?
As I've already made an answer to the convener's question would stand in relation to some of the challenges we faced. Clearly we recognise the importance of this as an issue. That's why we took forward the Act, that's why we are still committed to it, that's why its provisions remain important to us. I agree with Ms Gossel, this is an important practice. It is, of course, something that is already illegal. It has been illegal for some time, but the purpose of this Act is to try and make sure that people are women and girls are better protected through the system. The task at hand now, of course, is to actually get on with implementation. I'd like that to be as soon as possible, and just being candid with the committee in terms of the information I've been provided, that is the timescale, a realistic timescale that's being worked towards. There has been interruption, there are resourcing issues. I'm not shying away from that. I've given an indicative timescale of when we hope to have it in place. Of course, you know, every sinew will be strained to see if it can be done sooner than that, but I don't want to mislead the committee to suggest something that would be unrealistic in terms of the here and now, December 2024, and when we might be able to fully put into implementation the Act. You know, I don't disagree with Ms Gossel that it's taken too long. There have been reasons for that. We've tried to lay them out. The task now is to actually get on with it and to make sure that the Act is put into effect so that we can make sure that those cohorts of the population who might be at risk are better protected. But again, I don't know if you have anything to add, Neil.
Thanks, Minister. I think the only thing that I'd want to add to that is we recognise that a law in itself is not enough, and one of the other things that we've very much committed to is working with our stakeholders to raise awareness of the issue, and I think that's a really significant thing. We learnt from down south that when the awareness raising and the training took place with stakeholders, you saw an increase in the number of victims coming forward. We know that FGM is very much a hidden crime, and we want to boost the confidence of victims coming forward. So I think that awareness raising that will run alongside the implementation of the Act is a really important part of that, and we'll be progressing with that. I think also to be really clear that the commitment to implement the FGM Act, which is contained, as the Minister said, within the Equally Safe Delivery Plan that was published earlier this year, is part of a suite of work that we're looking to take forward with our stakeholders to address BME women's experiences of violence against women. So we're looking at how do we tackle extended family abuse, how do we work on issues around honour-based abuse, how do we improve the MARAC, that's this multi-agency risk assessment conferencing process to better cater for the needs and issues of black and minority ethnic women. So I think that this FGM Act needs to be seen as part of that bigger suite and that kind of awareness raising in that area.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ministers. Thank you, officials. Can I just ask a question on the data side? That obviously in 2022, I was told that there had to be some work done around collecting the data, identifying those communities and those spaces where this horrific practice takes place. So basically, it's asking that. I'm asking that what sort of work has been done around the data collection from 2022. From me asking that question.
I'll need to invite Nell in on that. Convener, not involved, obviously, directly in that.
So the answer to that is that the work has not been progressed. It's been paused up to this stage, and that data collection is part of the work that we will be doing going forward as part of this implementation.
Okay. No, thank you. But I just want to obviously echo how important the implementation of this legislation is, that there are women and girls out there suffering. So, Minister, I know you say 2026. I'm really hoping and holding you to your word that this Act is implemented in 2026, because there are people out there that are suffering right now, especially women and girls.
If I could respond to that,
Yeah,
clearly I'm not directly involved in the sense of having policy responsibility, but all I can say to Ms Gosel is, having been invited to this committee, I will be paying particular attention to the implementation of this Act.
Thank you.